evening, everybody. It's Steve with Real Progressives. I'm going to take it old school from the car tonight. I didn't have time to set up all the goodies in my studio, so I decided it'd be more fun to take it the old school way out here in the vehicle. So my question to you all is that have you all had some fun this past week? MMT and Alexandria Ocasio Cortez and all the news outlets have made being an MMT activist a whole lot of fun here lately, hasn't it? Hasn't it been fun to not have to just look in some old blog to find something about MMT, but it's everywhere? Hasn't that been exciting to see people fighting at the highest levels? Finally, like watching old Tyson come out, get his thing and then quack. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about hardcore, real honest to God fighting about issues that matter. And I want to say something too. And this is something for those people out there who had shit to say years ago and up till recently. Grumbine used to sit there and talk about dropping the elbow of truth. He called people idiots, losers, microphone abusers, called them all sorts of silly stuff when they would sit there and fight bullshit about MMT. When they would say stupid things, I would sit there and fire back because I wasn't the sort of guy that was going to roll over and take it. Okay? There are many people that will advocate for a much needed, sweeter, gentler, softer way, and that's fine. But when I see Alexandria Ocasio Cortez live in front of huge amounts of people say that the GOP is going to get tired out while they run train, while they run train on the progressive agenda. When I see her say she's going to run train, I'm trying to visualize AOC running train. And hey, look, man, I ain't going to lie. I can make that one work for me, okay? I ain't going to lie. But when I hear Alexandria Ocasio Cortez saying that she's going to run train on the progressive agenda, and I look back on the kind of bullshit harassment I got for sitting there talking mean to people that said dumb things, I think to myself, wow, what a fucking double standard. Because the very people that are clapping for this are the same people that pissed and moaned that I sat there and came out with a billy club and took people out without, it was smiting people because fact is this stuff is boring. Economics should be very boring. It should not be the lifeblood of all of our systems, but it is the lifeblood. It is the reason why a Green New Deal is even able to be talked about right now. And this is really important you understand. All the hubbub, all the Alexandria Ocasio Cortez, for the sidebar issues notwithstanding, all of it come down to, can we get a progressive agenda through? Can they make it logical? Can they make it sell? Can people grab hold of it and understand that we can afford this thing? And every news outlet, every publication has been going crazy. You had Bloomberg saying nonsense. You had In These Times publishing stuff. You had The Week came out with a garbage article the other day. And Kelton and Fulwiler and the whole gang have been sitting there dealing with it. Then you got this idiot named Doug Henwood from DSA who has been talking crap nonstop, who's sitting there fighting with poor Nathan Tankus. I mean, bottom line is that it has been fun to be engaged in MMT debates. And then the worst part, you got Richard Murphy from the UK talking smack about Bill Mitchell. What the hell? I mean, come on, dude, get over this. So bottom line here is that we're at a really amazing time. We're in an amazing time because this is a real tipping point. This is a real tipping point to see whether progressives care enough to make a progressive agenda happen. And you see the Green Party. Folks, there's some good Greens and I work with them and I talk to them all the time. But there's some really bad Greens out there, folks. Some really bad ones that are just as trolly as the right wing. Just as trolly as those QAnons, just as trolly as the rest of them. They're over there trolling just the same. And you have to ask yourself, at what point in time will the left stop playing crabs in a barrel and start really kicking some ass? And when you got a girl up there, brand new rookie, in her first month on the job, telling the GOP, you're going to get tired out because I'm going to run train on you. I mean, what excuse do we have? What excuse do we have to not step up and be bold and learn the economics that she's championing, that we've been championing for a long time, but that doesn't matter. A lot of newcomers have jumped on the bandwagon, and that's good because it takes a lot of newcomers, a tremendous amount of newcomers to be able to make this stuff fly. It's going to take a tremendous amount of effort to make it fly. So why is it right here, right now? What makes this time period more special than others? Well, you've got a lot of economic activity, yes, but you've got a lot of activist activity as well. You've got the yellow vests in France. You've got the yellow vests trying to get started in the U.S. You've got third-party movement in the U.S. And you've got an uprising, a real legitimate uprising in the Democratic Party from the progressive insurgents. Like no time in my lifetime have I, and this isn't like hope and change with Obama, folks. This is different. This is very, 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 very different. And right here, right now, it's okay to walk with a little bit of a pimp step. It's okay to walk with a little bit of swagger. It's okay to say boldly, yes, we fucking can do this. And it's time for you to get out of the way. Lead, follow, or get out of the way. And I'm telling you right now, if you get lost in all these side issues, if you get swept away in Donald Trump tweets, if you get swept away in which party came up with the name Green New Deal, was it the eco-socialists before the Green Party ever touched it? Yes, it was. Did you know that? The eco-socialists came up with the Green New Deal before the Green Party did. So it's really important not to get caught up in who came up with what and what came up with who. Now, I want to talk to you about a very, very key thing, and I'm going to probably delve more into this tomorrow night. A lot of people are trying to say suddenly that the Green New Deal isn't a Green New Deal unless they cut half of the military budget. Unless they cut the military budget in half, slash it in half. It isn't the Green New Deal. Because the military is a big polluter. And the military is obviously running empire and every other thing that we don't like, right? But let me explain this to you in very, very basic terms. You don't cut spending and expect to survive and create a Green New Deal. You would have to literally be economically illiterate to think such a thing is the right move. Now, I will tell you this. When you think about what the military can and can't do, our military is singularly built for destruction, but it could easily be shifted to rebuild. It could easily be shifted to do tremendously good things. Instead of having a wartime presence, why could it not have a peacetime presence? Why could it not be used to mobilize, to rebuild our crumbling infrastructure? Why could it not be used for R&D to create the things we need to sustain life through environmental and ecological destruction? Why do we always have to just go in there with a friggin' chainsaw or a sledgehammer? Why can't we ever use our brains? Now, every time somebody says, well, you expect politicians to do this, that, and the other. I say, well, you're expecting politicians to do this, that, and the other by demanding they cut the military in half. What's that all about? You can't have it both ways. Either you believe the Congress can cut the military in half, or you believe the Congress can't. Either you believe the Congress can change the purpose of the military into a peacetime unit, or you don't believe it can do anything. Do you understand what I'm saying? Either you believe this or you don't believe this. You can't have it both ways. Well, you can, but not without getting called out for it. When you take the economy, which is a bathtub, and you say, I want to eliminate $350 billion from the economy, slash it. Here's what you've done. The bathtub's full. It goes like this. Well, we already know our economy is not full. Our economy sucks right now for most people. Maybe not for the wealthy, but for the regular people, our economy sucks. Okay? So you take $350 million, large amounts of that money is going to soldiers, their families, to basic shit, man. We're not talking about everything's weapons of mass destruction. We're talking about soldiers. We're talking about office workers, clerks, you name it, janitors, contractors, whoever. So when you talk about slashing it, $350 billion, what you've just done is you've put us into a depression, because you also realize if you're not economically illiterate, you also understand that cutting spending doesn't equal savings, because the government neither has money nor doesn't have money. It creates money when it spends into the economy, and it deletes money when it taxes out of the economy. So by cutting spending, you have not saved a penny for the government to spend. That's not how it works. And if anybody says that, you should not listen to them. They are unworthy of being heard out for their economic thoughts. They are economically illiterate and should not be regarded as a voice to be followed. Do you understand? Can I say it stronger than this? If you believe you must cut here to spend there, you are economically illiterate and should not be listened to for economic advice. You do not have a place in the economic conversation. You only have a place in feelings and good maybe painting and stuff like that. But it should not be in the economic space, because that's not how it works. If we want to reduce our offensive military, and we want to shift that to some other peacetime activity, that's entirely different. But that requires a spending bill, not a cutting bill. Do you understand? It's a spending bill, not a cutting bill. If you try to cut spending, the bathtub of the economy goes like this. And then we are all screwed. I still haven't recovered from the last economic crisis this country faced. Many of you haven't either. So stop advocating for more misery for the people, because that bullshit don't work. It don't hunt. That dog don't hunt. So when Alexandria Ocasio Cortez is up there, can you think of one other progressive that's doing what she's doing aside from maybe Bernie Sanders? I cannot. I have never seen anyone like Alexandria Ocasio Cortez in my life, ever. Ever. And when you have someone up there that's fighting like this day in and day out, hold on, I want to see this. You're excessively critical. Let's see who this is. Oh, Joseph. That's a shame, man. You don't have to watch, dude. Go. Joseph, don't waste your time on this, man. Come on, buddy. You're allowed to go. I'm not going to keep you prisoner here. Joseph Jones, go, buddy. Go drink a beer or something, man. Go hang out, do something cool, play a video game. You don't have to listen to me. But the truth is that when you look at what she's doing right now, she has shifted the Overton window so far in a matter of a month, couple months. She has shifted the window so far that you can almost talk about these things anywhere you go and not feel like you're like alone. I live in right-wing central Pennsylvania. These folks out here, they're gun hunting. They're out there ready to, go shoot a deer. I mean, they are not thinking socialism at all. They're like, oh, gross. But out here, even people are saying, wait a minute. I'm not joking. It's amazing. It's amazing. And so when I see what we could do, instead of focusing on just one person, focusing on the friggin' hole that she's opened up alone, working with groups like the Sunrise Movement, working with groups like the Modern Money Network and Stephanie Kelton, working with various groups, huge openings have arisen now. Suddenly, being able to talk boldly is there for you right now. It doesn't do any good to be sitting there in some little dark hole corner yelling and screaming about she's a sellout. You don't even know what you're talking about. You're embarrassing yourself. You're shaming yourself. Right, wrong, or indifferent, I don't care what she does. She has opened the door for us. You understand? She's kicked the frickin' door in. And I'm here to tell you, this is the first time that I've been able to see at a big, grand stage the freedom to talk about really serving the public purpose and meaning it, and it being almost embarrassing not to be supporting the public purpose. To me, this is a beautiful time to be a progressive. This is an exciting time to be a progressive. And when you understand the economics that empowers this, you start changing the way you think. You stop coddling stupidity, and you stop allowing people to mislead you, and you start driving straight to the prize. This is really a big time. Huge time. Huge. And you've got to seize it, because these times don't... I'm 50 years old. I'll be 50 in April. I'll be 50 years old in April. In my lifetime, I have never seen anything like this before. Ever. That's how special this is. That's how special this is. Don't look this gift horse in the mouth. This is a time where the youth are getting invigorated. This is a time where people that lost hope are regaining hope. And there's real need for it. We've got 11 years now till major cataclysmic climate change strikes us. If it isn't already swooping through at a speed faster than what we can mitigate. While people are sitting there grousing about who came up with the Green New Deal and who didn't, the climate doesn't care. It doesn't care. It's not checking boxes to see who came up with the marketing name. It's going to kick our ass if we don't take collective action. And I'm here to tell you, we can do this if we stop fighting amongst ourselves and stop trying to make her a savior. And remember what Bernie said, not me, us. And mean it. Mean it. Now's the time. And don't let somebody that doesn't understand this stuff detract from it and sideswipe you and complain about your tone like this one asshole did. Or complain about the words somebody uses. Fuck them. I'm serious. At some point in time, people have got to care enough about this that they stop holding on to the old ideas and they start learning new ones. Stop being a conservative. You want to hold on to your old left ideas? That's conservative. You may not think it, but it is. It's the very definition of being a conservative. Holding on to your left-wing ideas that you thought were the right way, and now you find out MMT is the right way. That is called being a conservative, when you hold on to the wrong beliefs anyway, even though you know the truth has been presented. That is called being a conservative. You can call it being a Marxist till the cows come home, but if you were wrong, you change, or you are a conservative. That is it. End of story. That is the very definition of conservatism. When you don't understand something, refuse to learn, and you stay stuck. That is conservatism at its finest, at its core. MMT shatters all the myths. And that's why it's so important. And that's why she has the boldness and conviction to rise up and say, no, let's do this. So I'm here to tell you, man, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's run train on the progressive agenda. I don't want to be in the back, or I don't want to be in the front of the, how does that work? I don't know, man. I don't know where I want to be in that line, but I know, I want to run train on the progressive agenda, right? Anyway, folks, have a great night. I will talk to you all tomorrow in my studio when I have all the lights and cameras going. Tonight was just fun to do it in the car, old school style, just for the hell of it. And I will catch up with you all tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Look forward to seeing you all. Have a great night, everyone. Bye-bye.